Okay, so today I'm going to be using the Maybelline gel liner, and the brush I'm using is an Urban Decay brush. It's one of those really fine kind of pointier brushes. It's a precise eyeliner brush. The number is E216. I do have a similar one from Real Techniques, the exact same thing. I have no idea what that is. Okay, I'm just going to give myself a base really quickly, and I'm going to use a concealer and just say that. Okay, so that's cancelled out a lot of redness, and like I've got quite veiny eyelids as well, so it's cancelled all that out as well. So quickly set that with a little brush. I'm just using a setting powder, make sure there's no creases. So a good little tip as well, I used to use the Inglot eyeliner years ago and it was really amazing, but it dried out quite a bit. So tip number one with your eyeliner is scoop a little bit out first and then close your lid back on your liner and it will stop it from drying out. That goes for like gels for your brow pomades as well. So I always when I do makeup end up with this big black spot on like the side of my hand. You can't, and there's some powder there. You can't really see it just now, but there's always like some of it. So basically what I do is I will take off the excess on my hand. You can use a mixing palette. You probably should use a mixing palette, especially if you're using a good eyeliner. It's quite hard to budge off. But we're going to use this first, and what I'm doing is I'm getting all the sides, I'm turning it around, and I'm really sharpening up my brush. I don't know if you can see that. So that's kind of sharp. If you're not great at eyeliner, don't try and go in there with your hand just floating and try and do it. Lean your elbow on something. When I'm doing someone's eyeliner, 9 times out of 10 I've always got this little pinky anchored like on their face. Sometimes even when I'm doing my own, rest your hand on your face and it will help steady the brush for you. If you go in and your hand is just floating, you're more likely to get kind of bumps. So let me just position that though. So my elbows are actually on my desk just now, okay? So we're going to go in, and the trick as well is to take, I've got like a little mirror here, like a little palette, so I take the palette in front of my nose, in front of my face, I can see my face, and tilt it down slightly so you can see my whole eye. When I'm looking in this mirror, my whole eye is relaxed. I'm not squinting, I'm not pulling. You shouldn't really tug on your eyes because it can lead to wrinkles in later life. That's not good. And sometimes as well, you tug the eye and then you draw your perfect line and then you let it go and it's like wiggly anyway because your eyes aren't straight like that all day. So try not to do that. So my mirror's positioned down just underneath the lens down here. And my eyes are nice and relaxed. I'm kind of tilting my head back as well so that I can see my full lid. This is the way you maybe notice that I do eyeshadow when I'm doing it on camera. My mirror is always directly under that lens so that I'm looking down and I can see exactly what I'm doing. So we're going to use the brush on its side. Try not to go in dead on. Use it on its side and it's going to do the line for you. Like that, okay? Head back and my little pinky's on my face. I'm anchoring my hand in there, steadying it off. And we're going to start in the inner corner. Alright, take it slow. Do it in little like small lines. Don't go right in there. Unless you're like really confident in that, then fair enough. Do you. So remember that your eye curves back round. So when you're doing this line, come back down at that angle. Don't just keep going out. Line the lids first, worry about the wing in a minute. I keep knocking this camera, am I? So make sure you're happy with thickness and things. Now don't get me wrong, you might actually go back in once the wing's on and adjust this thickness again. But I'm quite happy with that just now. So now for the actual wing. This is the scary bit. So if you imagine a line from the bottom of this eyelid coming up and following like so, like that, that is where your wing should be. The trick is as well, you don't want to do them too high because what you'll do is actually close your eye off, and sometimes a straight wing's nice, I'm not going to lie here. I do quite like a straight wing. I done a previous tutorial, Khloe Kardashian one, and the wings were very straight out. I do quite like that, but it suits my eye shape. I have a really big, I've got such a big space here. I can get away with that. I can make them really long, I can get away with really high dark smokes, like it just depends the eye shape you've got. if you've got like hooded eyes, you're probably better going more further straight out to make your eye look longer. Sometimes when you do it with your hooded eye, you have to look ahead and do it with your eye opened, because it's all good and well keeping your eye closed, doing your wing, being like, oh my god, that's great, you open your eye and then you either can't see it or it's like disconnected or something like that. So always keep your eyes opened as well when you're doing your... Keep your eye open, bearing in mind your line. If you need to kind of go back in and remind yourself, there you go. Another little tip as well is you could even go in with, sometimes people like to get the wing and then dot it either side, because I would do these, I wouldn't do one full wing and then do the other. I would line both lids, then go and do my wings. I'd start them off, then I'd look at them, take a step back, and then be like, right, I want them bigger, I want them thicker, whatever. So take it in little steps. Don't go in and just do the one full wing. I'm doing it for the purpose of today, but normally I wouldn't do that. You can even go in with a little bit of eyeshadow because it's a little like more forgiving. You could use like a kind of skin colour, little light brown colour. Mark it first. Once you're happy with them being symmetrical and all that, then go with your liner on top of it. So there are ways you can do that until you're confident and a bit better at it. So we're going to keep our eyes opened. Bear in mind that line there, and then we're just going to do the first line. Once the first line's on, that's the scary bit. And realistically, my wings will probably come out to about here, but start shorter. That's another little tip. Start short, you can always elongate, because what will happen is your wings will get thicker and thicker, and you'll want that nice straight tapered edge on it, and then you'll start to go further out and further out and further out. So make sure they're connected to that very bottom corner in there. There is nothing worse in this world, here comes Georgia, when they're not connected. Right, so then we're going in towards the eye to connect that to the wing. Now that's a nice little wing. You could totally just, that's like a little cat eye wing. That's nice. My eyes are too big for that. They actually probably make my eyes look smaller. So I'm going to elongate that and thicken it up a little bit. But you could totally go with that and that'd be fine if you want like a little cat eye. So the trick when you're doing liner is go with the shape of your eye. When you're pulling brushes in your eye will move, okay? So when we're going out the way to do the lid, and when we're doing the wings, we come back in the way. Someone, the counsellor, cutting the grass. Great. Fantastic. So I'm going in the light. Little short strokes, you can see that, right? Building that line. Keep making sure your brush is really sharp. Make sure you've got enough product on it. When I get to the very tip, I'm trying not to talk too much because my cheeks move. When you get to the very end, go really, really light with your brush and you're going to pull it out the way for that tapered edge, okay? Don't come back in the way, we're going out for the very, very tip. Okay, just make sure you've got a nice line there. And I don't like this dip here, I like a nice straight line, so I'm going to go back in and go straight along. Okay, so there you've got your little wing. I'm going to go a little bit longer. That's just what I do. So I'm going to take that on the end. I like a nice big wing. So like I said, you're taking it in small steps. Don't just go right in there and try and do it in the one go. Better, so see that suits my eye a little bit better. I should probably put eyeshadow on before this, but I'll often do the other one, and then we will talk about tips and tricks for the bottom lids. Alright. Okay, I'm back. So I put on my other wing, a little bit of eyeshadow and my brows because I was looking hella weird. So we're going to do the kind of do's and don'ts of eyeliner on the bottom lids, because as you can tell just now, if you're going to throw a foundation on, excuse this little dry patch of skin here, it looks quite weird. Like my eye looks really disconnected. I think they look quite unfinished. Obviously I've not put lashes on yet, but they still look quite weird. So we're going to talk about bottom liner. Just found. So my favourite liners, you probably already know, are the Urban Decay liners. So these ones are waterproof and you get about 30 seconds, well I'll probably say more of a minute and a bit to smudge them if you want to. Once they're dry, they will not move. when I used to work for Urban, we would like swatch colours on our hand for people. You could not get these off. Perversion is the blackest black. I use this all the time. The only thing I would say is if you wear contact lenses or your eyes are a little bit sensitive, sometimes the pigmentation in this can irritate them. So if they do, I don't know if I have the other one. If they do, you can use Zero, which is a little bit of a softer black. So I'm not going to swatch them. I was ready to go into full on sales mode there. No, I'm not going to swatch them. But Perversion, the really darkest dark one, or there's Zero. For your inner waterline, you can also use a nude, which I've used a couple of times, or you can use a white. So my preferred nude is Oak Shame. I think NARS do a really nice one as well. I also, have this Marc Jacobs one, which is a pink one. It's like a pink colour, you can kind of see it there. That's also nice on the waterline as well. It's called Pink of Me, so that's the Marc Jacobs one. Please, please, please do not use a liquid on the bottom of your eye. A liquid liner on the bottom of your eye is really harsh. It will give you a nice sharp line, which is great, but you don't really want a big harsh line here and then just stop. You want it really softed and blended out. So your best chances to do that is either the gel, you could totally do that. I mean, whatever's left in your brush, you could draw a little line and then smudge out. You can use your finger, you can use a cotton bud, you can even obviously use a makeup brush, or you can use the pencil. That's what I use because I'm going to go in the waterline and underneath and smudge out. So I'm going to show you real quick what that looks like. So basically what you can do is take it halfway. So if you don't want a really big smoked eye, you could even do it halfway or a quarter of the way and then smudge out. This is going to make your eyes appear larger. So if you've got quite small eyes, or if your eyes are more kind of closer together and you want to make them appear wider, then this is the trick for you. Because I'm going to take my little MAC pencil brush, who knows what it's called, the numbers, and I'm going to go into a nice brown colour, or even a lighter brown colour, and we're going to, we'll maybe zoom in for this. So you can see that straight in. If you just put a liquid, that's what it looks like. That looks silly. Do you know what I mean? It does. It's not like, if you do that, I apologise, but this is tricks to help your eyes, okay? So you're going to smudge that out. Now, bear in mind, whatever line you draw, with the smudging, it will get bigger. Make sure you're connected in here. There is nothing worse than a beautiful eye and then a big white gap in here. I like an all over smoked right round, I'm not going to lie, I prefer it. I think it frames the eye better. Go under here and smudge that with a little pencil brush. Like I said, I mean, you can use your finger if you want for quickness. Okay, I personally think my eye looks better this way. It's just me. And what I would do is just take a little bit of eyeshadow, like the brown I've got on the top lid, and then go back into that and soften it. If that's too much for you, try this and try that for a nighttime look. That's a good tip to glam something up day to night. So I'm going to do that right round. And there you go. That's probably a bit big. That looks crazy just now, but once my lashes are on, it's fine. So that is the two variations that you could do. I would always put something in the bottom, even if you don't want a lot. You could even take a little bit of eyeshadow and go in the bottom. It's just going to make your eyes look a lot more connected. It's going to make them look finished. So yeah, I would recommend. So if you want to make your eye look larger, keep all the dark colours to one side. Only keep your eyeliner to there, a corner there. And then smudge out and go with a kind of white or a nude or a light inside the waterline. If you like a big old smoke like me, go for the dark. Do the dark. Sometimes as well even do colour. That's a whole different story, but we're talking eyeliner. Straight up eyeliner here. No to liquid, yes to pencil or gel on the bottom. Okay, promise? Thanks. So that is my face and my my face and my eyelashes on. I hope you enjoyed this little do's and don'ts video of eyeliner. Eyeliner can be really, really tricky, but I promise you, if you just keep practicing it, you will get it. It will click one day and you'll just be like, yes, and it'll be done. But let me know if this is the kind of video you enjoyed. I know a couple of people have asked me before, and that's one of the questions that I get asked all the time in lessons is about eyeliner. So if you liked it, comment below, give me a thumbs up and let me know if this is the kind of video that you enjoy, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.